G'day and welcome to the Infamous. Today I'm joined by Dyson and Mr. Sear. This episode kind of came out off the back of the release of the in-game ship prices being changed, and it's all been topsy-turvied and all turned around, and some are better, and I'd have to say there are a lot that are a lot worse, and it's kind of a bit of expectation versus reality. Like, we were kind of expecting things to be fair and balanced and happy, and that's most likely not going to be the case for some people. And
just like Fox News.
I don't know what that is, but okay, sure, no worries. But yeah, I guess we'll go give some few examples, and because you threw me under the bus, you can go first.
All right, now that I threw you under the bus, I'm going to say sell your ground vehicles. Like, we were talking about sell your fighters before, but ground vehicles are even more imperative that you sell. If you look at these, you are paying for like a Cyclone, one of the fancy ones, $65. And you know what you're getting? A ship that's not even worth what an Aurora, the baseline Aurora, is worth. It is really, 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 really bad bang for your buck. And the only ground vehicle that's actually slightly good is the Nox. And that's only because it's actually fairly well priced comparatively, but it's still a bad deal. And the Nox Q is the one that you want to go with, because for some reason that skin makes it 50,000 UEC more.
The Dragonfly jumped in price as well, but it's still in a really bad spot. Like, it literally more than doubled in price in game, but it's still just not worth it for the price of a mission. It's just not worth it. They're going to be so easy to earn in game. You got any other ones there, Sear, that you can think of off the top of your head?
Why is the Starfare Gemini, which is $40 more than the regular Starfare, cheaper than the regular Starfare in game right now?
Yep. That's another one. And I the only thing I can kind of retort to that is I think the refining module, where it actually, when you buy it, it comes with it, but I think in game, if you buy it, it doesn't come with it. Yeah. Oh, what is it? The scoop, and there's also a refining module at the back. The first two cargo things, so maybe it's just all cargo containers on the Gemini when you buy it in game. So we'll have to wait and see. We've got, what was the other thing? There was a thing with the Warden as well. You were talking about that before the show?
Yes. So 3.6 is available for everybody who's living under a rock or got EMP'd or something like that. And so the Hoplite got, let's see, the Hoplite is now standalone, non-war bond. Like, you can melt down something else to get it. It's $235 US. And then the Warden is $260 non-war bond, and war bond doesn't even offer you LTI. You just get the $10 cheaper in that case. But do I think it's worth it? Not really. But I mean, the choice is yours. It's your money, not mine. So yeah.
So I also think, like, one of the things you were saying too before the show is, like, the Warden is now more deadlier. I think that was the phrase that you used, that they had used. How did they phrase it?
That is, yes. They said big, bad. It's just advertising. It was saying, like, bigger and badder. I mean, it looks different, but it's still the same.
How do they pull that out of their ass? There's no difference in the guns at all. I don't.
This is its own episode. This is its own episode. I'm very salty about the Vanguard series because those are my favorite ships in the game. So hashtag make the Vanguard great again. But that's its own episode. I'm not getting into this today.
Back to hats.
I will make one. I will make one.
Make Vanguards great again. Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be funny. Yeah, but there's a lot of ships across the board, and I still think it falls into... There's some really weird ones out there for me. The weirdest one for me is the Hammerhead versus the Reclaimer. So the Hammerhead is $650 to $750 real world dollars. The Reclaimer is now at $400 real world dollars, and it was originally at $350. And in game, the Hammerhead is roughly 12 million, and the Reclaimer is now 15 million. So that is really weird, is it not? Cool factor. You're paying for cool factor. Literally, like, the marketing team. And I'm going to be honest, a lot of the ships that are affected are cool factor ships, are they not? Like when you go through this list, the ones that are overpriced and shitty, I think one exception to that is like Origin ships, because they've got that what do you call it? Luxury. Yeah. So they've all kind of they've retained their high pricing, and that's a good thing for the people that brought them, because that would be a real nail into the coffin to those ships, in my opinion. So the fact that they are rare and you've paid for a rare price tag, they need that, because that's pivotal.
Yeah, another one. Sorry, you can go ahead. This is just a little rant.
Say the thing that surprises me the most is actually where the Hurricane lines up. The Hurricane price per value is actually in the ground vehicle range. Not even kidding. You're looking at it's only dollar per UEC is around 6,000 ish, and you're like, why? Like, you look at all the other fighters, and at least there's a somewhat decent exchange rate compared to that.
I should have stated this earlier. We're taking this off a list that someone... What'd you say? It was on Reddit, Steve, that you found it?
Yes, some awesome person made this on Reddit, and I stole it because I liked it.
And we'll link it in the description so you guys can follow along. I would bring it up as an image on the screen, but it's really long and tall, and it looks really tiny. So the best I can do for you guys is link it in the description so you can go through it yourself. But it clearly goes through every ship in the game currently, and it kind of shows its price, real-world value, and dollar per... So you can basically get an average of pretty much what it's worth. And so basically the better the dollar value, the better it's worth. So believe it or not, the Reclaimer is at the top of the list. And the Starfarer and the 600i. So they're just a few of them. But it's just... Then you get ones way down the bottom, and almost all the ground vehicles would easily be in... What's the highest land vehicle? The Nox, you were saying? Nox Q.
Yes.
And the Nox Q is easily, what, 12th or 15th from the bottom. So they are... Every land vehicle is in the bottom. And some of the other ones down there are things like the Merlin, the MPU, Dragonflies, Ursa Rovers. Like, they're all vehicles. Mustangs, all the starting ships, a few of the racing ships. Surprise, surprise, the Eclipse. Like, these are ships that we've been saying for a while. Like, I don't know about you two, but this list is very... what's that justifying? What's that word that you're looking for? Justification that we were correct about a lot of the stuff we've been talking about for such a long time, that these ships will turn out to be not so great in the game. And almost, you know, all the ones that you've said are kind of meh, they are down that bottom of that list. And I don't know if you guys reflect...
That's weird exceptions.
Yeah, there are exceptions.
Yeah, just to point it out, like, in terms of relevance and cash flow in game, all your fighters, all your niche specific like ships are towards the bottom of the list, and all your support ships like the Starfarer or like the Connies, since they have more flexibility, the Titan, all the more flexible ships rise to the top, and all the role specific ones, like they get lower and lower and lower. So I find that very interesting. So in terms of combat, you're not getting a bang for your buck, really, which is very interesting.
Yep.
There are some weird ones up there. Like, I'm actually kind of surprised how high up the Constellation is. I'm surprised how up the Caterpillar is. But then there's ones that I knew there would be there, like the Titan and the Freelancer. Like, I expected those to be right up there. The 300i is a lot higher than I thought it was going to be. But that's a much better ship than it was. And we almost put it with a Titan. Like, when we did our comparison video, we almost put them toe-to-toe. And... where they sit is roughly where I expect them to be. They are very close to each other. They're literally... the Renegade version of the Titan is literally just above the 300i. So it's really interesting. I just find this a very vindicating list. It very reflects my own thoughts, and I find it very telling of where they've landed, which is really good. It makes me feel like I'm on the money. Not that I'm proven right, just the fact that was I right? Oh wait, maybe I was. You know, like. But anyway.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to add? Because I think this is a short and sweet one. Like, this is more of a warning video for people, I think. Unless you guys have got anything else you want to add.
I do want to add one thing. It does show also that sell your fighters, while as an overall concept is a correct concept, there is one major flaw with it. you have to take a look at the fact that there are gonna be certain big exceptions like the Reclaimer or Starfarer compared to something like the Hammerhead. And it may also be something within the size of the ship. You may have to look at the metals, maybe. That's why I'm speculating, but I'm not 100% sure. But there's going to be some exceptions to that, and just expect it.
Yeah. Well, we've been saying for a while, like, ships under $200, but I think it's going to change again. I think it really is going to become under $200 and ships that have that coolness factor. And I don't even how do you put that into a thing that people can filter coolness out of? Like, but
it's a bland car sedan.
Well, they seem to be more combat orientated, don't they? The ones that are getting labelled as cool factor, like the Hammerhead. A lot of people brought that on its cool factor, but it's overpriced for what it is. So it'll be interesting to see how this affects things going forward. Now it looks like we're going to be getting a lot more straight into game stuff. I think it's going to be a lot better, but the other side of it is we've only really had one good ship this year, and that was the Corsair, and that wasn't the best ship ever. But most of them have all been. Well, we had the tugboat, we had the Tumbril bike, we had the Ranger, and we had the Corsair, and we've now had the Ballista. That's not a lot. That's 6 months.
Something's coming out next month too for Aegis.
Yeah, so...
And it'll probably be massively overpriced because coolness factor.
Exactly. But it seems to be like they almost know if they're going to sell or not. So yeah, I don't know about you two, but I've deliberately kind of avoided the vehicles as much as possible. I did buy a Cyclone when it first came out, but that's pretty much the only way. Like, I sold off all my Dragonflies, or my I think I had a Noxcure at one point. I've just got rid of them all, and I've stripped right back. And the only reason I have the Cyclone is it's just fun to drive around. But I fully intend to melt that and roll that into an actual ship at some point. I cannot justify, like let's just take this Ballista. Ballista is what, 120, 125 US?
40.
Depending on the skin.
Yeah, it depends on which one you buy. But I can't justify that. And here's another weird one. Can you, for me, just take this aside, can you justify the Ballista over the Nova tank?
Well,
like,
tank
in terms of
might actually be
relevance?
worth more.
Sorry, I got two people talking to me at once then. Sorry, do you want to go first, Dyson?
Well, let's see her go first on this one. I've been
All right,
dominating a little.
Go for it, Sir. What was your question?
Are you talking about in terms of relevance? Because in terms of relevance, they both play a very important factor now, since they finally... Because I knew the AA Cyclone was absolutely worthless in a sense.
Well, I'm talking in the terms of the title of the show. So, expectation versus reality is the Ballista costs more than the Nova tank, but I think the Nova tank is going to be... I know they do slightly different roles, but I think you'll generally use the tank as a ground vehicle more than you would use the Ballista as a ground vehicle. That's just me. I think if you're on the ground, you're more likely going to be dealing with things on the ground, where this Ballista is very much an anti-air vehicle. Like, if a Nova tank was to come up against a Ballista, I would say the Nova tank would win. As an example.
That's how you would counter a Ballista.
I know they don't counter each other. They're not meant to do that. Like, the Ballista is designed specifically for air. But what I'm trying to say is I can't even justify its role versus the Nova's role. I just think the Nova, you're going to get way more use out of the Nova than you will out of the Ballista.
And it has AA. The Nova has AA, and that's the big thing. It's not the best AA in the world, but at least has some AA capabilities. So it is the best of both worlds. It'll dominate
Has
ground.
a point defense.
And it'll be able to shoot out. But my thing is, I think the Ballista personally should be able to have some sort of lock-on so it could shoot those missiles at ground targets. I just think
that makes sense. I honestly, when I first saw it, I thought that turret, the front turret almost looks like it's got a laser painter on it. I thought that'd be mad. Like, you could just laser paint something, and the guy... So if you ever played in Battlefield 2, I think they had it, where the sniper classes could paint stuff, and then the commander could drop airstrikes there. That's what I'm thinking. So the driver paints something, and the guy in the back can lock...
System.
Yeah, that'd look awesome.
Yeah.
Or even one Ballista could paint, and then all the Ballistas could aim at the same target. Like, that would be mad.
This could be more discussed, definitely in a different episode, because these are some good points. But
we're going to do another episode on the Ballista today, so that'll be out sometime soon as well.
Yeah.
So.
but one thing I wanted to point out was with all of this, people have came up to me and asked me, like, "Hey, Seer, should I just buy some UEC in game for ships?" And I was like, "No." And I'll still say this to this day, no, do not, because honestly, I'll put this out there. I was curious and I got a bonus from work, so I decided to go on a campaign to go buy 1 million UEC worth of money
Credits,
in game. Yeah, 1 million credits, and that is $1,000. I was like, holy! And you can't buy this all at once. You only can do 25,000 a day, and that won't even buy you that won't even get you a cutlass. I feel like what this would be useful for then is once you have all your ships, you get some money so that you can then just get some armor, have some money left over or something like that. But like, we don't even know how much selling a ship is going to be too, because if you're one of those people that went and bought an Aurora, or you bought like 5 or 6 Auroras, and you're like, oh, once the game comes out, I'm going to sell it and have cash too. This is just a buy price. You don't even know what the sell price is going to be or something like that. So
credits
probably end up being better than UEC.
yeah. Oh yeah. I feel like UEC is not going to be the way to go at all. Because I mean, like I said, what's up?
I was just going to say UEC is very overpriced for what it is at the moment. Like, you can put that up against this ship price list, and you can very clearly see it's not worth buying it that way at the moment.
It's not. You're better off, which I think it makes sense, because why would you want to buy UEC? You actually get the better deal by just buying the ship instead of just buying UEC.
There's already people doing cargo runs too, and I know they're making over 1 million credits an hour. So
oh yeah, I do that in my Caterpillar all the time.
That's kind of scary if you think about it. Like, you can make 1 million credits an hour, or by the way, that costs $1,000. Like, what? So, like, it would be great if you could cash back the other way, wouldn't it? It'd be like the gold miners from WoW would be playing this all the time if they could turn it into real world.
Are you holding a tool?
I'm holding a
wrench.
A wrench. Sorry.
I saw it earlier. And I was
engineering.
Yeah,
So
you said utility is more important. So invest in your utility.
You don't have to tell me this. I gotta go work with those again today. So
I'm just fidgeting. I gotta have something to fidget with.
You're fine, dude.
All right. I think we'll wrap it up there because we've gone to Weird Town. If you like this video, like this video. If you dislike this video, please feel free to do so as well. If you leave a comment, we'll read it. We try to get back to everyone that we can. We don't get back to all of them, but we try to. We've got Discord as well. If you want to jump on there, we're looking for more people for FMF. Have I missed anything? I know I've missed something.
No.
Always do.
See you around.
We'll catch you guys next time.
Have a good one, guys.